Hi, everybody. Welcome to another live episode of The Grid. My name's Scott Kelby. Joining me today, the awesome Larry Becker. Mr. Becker, welcome, sir.
Thank you so much for having me here. I really appreciate it. Can we talk about my stuff?
Yes, let's talk about your stuff.
I'm totally kidding. No, I want to talk about gritty stuff.
No, I want to talk about your stuff. Look, Larry's my guest blogger today. Not your stuff, but you know. Anyway, Larry's my guest blogger today. If you get a chance in the booth, if you can pull up my website, because it's today, and Larry's the guest blogger today, and Larry's got a very, very, very good, if you're a photographer and you like to make money, now I know there's very few of you, most of you want to give away money, but for those of you who want to make it, go by the website.
Doesn't that sound like
an
an oxymoron as much as we know about photography?
Yes.
If you're a photographer and you want to make money, that's nobody.
That's Larry right there. And then look, here's more Larry. Larry, I call it Larry Steve Jobs in the next one, look. Yeah, there you go. That's got to be Levi Sims.
Levi shot that.
Of course he did. He has that whole series he did. It was just wonderful.
Yeah, and when he did that, I said, you got to give me a color version of the...
Look how we did a video and he pimped it with like the logo and everything.
Yeah, put
very
Scott's blog
nicely
in
done.
It. Yeah, thanks, boss.
So anyway, go check out his guest blog if you get a few minutes. It's wonderful because
gosh, thanks for mentioning that.
All right, I have interesting stuff today. We have got, can I tell you guys something? I'm not kidding. We have an unbelievable topic today. I'm going to give you just a tiny preview so we can stop the show and you can go and tweet everybody you know and put it on Facebook. Ready? All right, if we can, I didn't put my computer on the right thing here. Hold on.
So I think the topic is believable. I think the examples are the unbelievable part.
Yeah, wait till you see this. Okay, so then there was a book, a very famous diet book that came out, right? A very famous diet book called Eat This, Not That. And I've got a copy of the cover here on my computer. So Eat This, Not That. And what it was basically saying was this. So if you want to eat a burger that's bad for you, so there's the Whopper, right? The Whopper with cheese is like 785 calories and like 49 grams of fat or something. Instead, you'd be better off to actually go and eat a Big Mac, which saves 200 calories and nearly 20 grams of fat. So it's basically eat this. If you want to eat a burger, eat this one, not that one, right? So we're going to do today on the show, ready? We're going to do this. We're going to do shoot this, not that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And we have got amazing examples for you. It's going to be so much fun. It's just, I think you're going to super dig it. So we're going to pause for just a second here so you can go to your other social medias and say, guys, you got to watch The Grid. It's going to be incredible today.
It's already started. Hurry.
Yeah, and we're going to show you a really cool app in just a moment. We've got giveaways. We got all kinds of crazy stuff. So just do it. You know what? I'll just tell you some other boring stuff while you're doing it so you won't miss anything.
Yeah, tweet this, not that. Come on.
Larry, this is your first time enjoying the cups.
Yes, I know.
Larry was very surprised to see these.
I like it.
Right?
Mugged on the grid. That's awesome.
Wow. The king of the puns is in the house. All right, so we have some giveaways at the end of the show. I'm going to tell you real quickly. Lens Pro To Go gift cards. We have two $50 Lens Pro To Go gift cards. We're giving those away. So Lens Pro To Go, what the folks at Lens Pro To Go do is they rent you stuff. You want to rent a lens for the weekend, like a lens that's like crazy expensive, or you need a particular body for an event or whatever it is. They ship it to you. It's all ready to go. You use the lens. When it's time to send it back,
but it's
the
more
boxes,
than lenses. They have
lights,
camera bodies,
everything.
Yeah.
Two $50 gift cards. We're going to give away the Platypod Pro Max. By the way, I used two of these to shoot the NFC Championship game last weekend. Go Falcons, who are off to the Super Bowl. I had two of these set up for I would show you pictures, but I really don't. I processed one picture. So what happens is when you're shooting the game, you're shooting, and then every quarter the Falcons come and they take your card.
Yeah.
So you have to have multiple cards in your camera, and they take your card, and they go, "We've got your card. We've got your card." And
they do that
away.
to everybody that's in the game?
All of us. No, not everybody. Not these people in the stands. Just the photographers. But there was like 7 of us or 6 of us shooting just for the Falcons. So they come and take your card.
Cool.
You put another card in, and then you shoot. And then at halftime they come. So they took them after the introductions, after the first quarter, at half, third quarter, and at the end.
Now, are you shooting JPEG? You shooting RAW?
I was shooting RAW on one card, and they took the one with JPEG. They said you have to turn in JPEG.
Okay.
We were not allowed to turn in anything else. We had all kinds. It was very complicated because it's a big game. I have one. I'm going to grab it real quick. Hold on 1 second. I have one shot that I've processed. It's so sad. I only had time to do one. It was just this one was one of the first ones. Here, let me get it like full screen.
Okay, so I don't think you're allowed to say that's sad. That is a heck of a shot.
No, it's okay. But there's look, there's a ball coming and everything. Anyway, so Is that Julio? No, it's not Julio. Anyway, so that's shot at like 5,000 ISO, by the way. And it's pretty clean. Because it was with a 1DX. Whoa! All right, we got a couple of shout outs real quick. We've got Peter's here. Hi, Peter. Welcome. David is here from Italy. We have Ben here. Yay to the grid. Hello, guys, from Bridget and Ben in Nottinghamshire. It's not Shire, it's Sure. Werner is here from Germany. Brandon, sweet. I'm finally on time for the Grid Live. Glad to have you here, Brandon. David's here. Hi from Magic Dave in a very cold UK. I don't want to tell you that it's like 82 degrees here today. It's beautiful. Isn't it? It's not 82. It's probably high 70s.
80 at my house.
80 at Larry's house. But, of course, Larry lives in hell. Let's see. Lorna is here from Australia. We got Mark's here from Dublin. And Paulo is live with Larry. There you go. Hey, glad to have you all guys here. So anyway, there's my one shot. I got more stories and stuff, but I'll have to put it on the blog or something.
I think it's really neat that they're all commenting, but I want to know why they're not posting out to their friends on social media about the
post
grid.
Out to your friends. All right. I want to show you a new app. All right. So let me go get it going here. First, I have to log into the AirPlay mirroring, and I'm on video control room 2. All right. So I get a text a couple days ago, literally just a couple days ago, from Jared Poland. So Jared Poland from Fro Knows Photo, great guy, great show.
Yep.
He sends me a text and goes, hey, dude, I got this app. It's coming out tomorrow. You want to try it? And I'm like, I haven't gotten a lot of apps from Fro. So I'm like, yeah, I'm going to check it out. I never thought of him making apps. He made a killer app. It is called My Gear Vault. It's like one word, My Gear Vault. And what it does is, and I've used a bunch of these gear apps. Can I tell you, I don't know if you've tried these, Larry. It's like they're apps that keep track of all your stuff.
Some.
Okay, I've tried like 10 of them. And every one of them, I've dropped out of using it because I would start to configure it, and it was such a pain in the butt.
Right.
Or it didn't have my gear, and it was missing stuff. His is very, very, very clever. So you can set up separate kits. Like when it's time for me to pack, I can go, but it's got all the pictures and everything
Right.
here. Or if he doesn't have a picture, you can just click and take your own picture right there.
Okay, cool.
Right? So there's my monopod on my desk right there. So anyway.
Can you put in notes about individual things? So like you could record your serial numbers and stuff?
Yes. Not only that. So what's cool about this thing, it's designed to be able to let you, if your gear were to get stolen, it has all the information. You can send a police report from here. But the other kicker is it's designed to, in the app, you can go searching for insurance for your gear.
That's cool.
Right before you're about to steal your own gear and file a false insurance claim. No, I'm kidding. No, but it's got insurance options built into it. There's so many things in here. But the thing about it is it actually works. Like, so here's the insurance. You can go insure your gear. He's got videos on how it all works and stuff. But you have all these kits, and you can add stuff to a kit anytime. Like, here's what I use for my studio. I basically use a camera and a lens. How boring. Let's go to something more interesting, like travel, all right? So I don't have a shot of the black rackwood, but you can go take one. Like you can just go actually add your own shot, add photo, and just take a photo.
Very cool.
So it's just the easiest, best one I've used. How much does it cost, Larry? Ask me.
How much? Well, you got it for free, didn't you?
No, it's free.
Everybody gets it for free.
I just got it a little early, but it was already on the site. He just hadn't announced it yet. But I would highly recommend, of all the ones I've used, this one's the best.
That's
so
cool.
Go to it's only available for iOS at this point. They're working on the Android version.
So you know what I've been doing until something like this comes along is I always lay out my gear and actually spend a little bit of extra time. Lay out my gear and I go through and I video it on my smartphone. Here's what I'm taking on this shoot. And then when I'm packing up and putting everything back, I got to watch the video back again. It's okay. This is
great.
Way better.
Oh, this is terrific. And it works as advertised. Like you just type in Canon camera. Here's all the Canon cameras.
Nice.
You click on the one you want, it adds it to your set. And then, and I think that's where he really, really nailed it. He nailed the interface because it's the interface that's killed everyone. Because Brad and I would look at different ones because we're on the road a lot. And what are we going to take for football? What do we take for
so
natural
where can they
light?
get it again and what's it called?
It's called My Gear Vault. You can go get it for free at the App Store for iOS, and it's coming for Android. So it's not on Android yet, but it's coming. So go get it.
Very cool.
Hey, Glenn Dewis is here. Somebody must have tweeted him. Glenn, stop what you're doing and come watch the thing. Glad to have you here, Glenn. One of the greatest guys out there.
What time is it for him right now?
They're 6 hours ahead, so it's 10. He's a little after 10. But Glenn is a late night guy. Hey, not only is he going to be speaking at Photoshop World, we got him coming and doing some new classes with us.
That'll be good.
Yeah,
I
we
always
do.
like Glenn.
He's the best. He's the best. Bob Halsworth says, I just got a comment. Scott Kelby is live now. Have you not been well? Well, Bob, do I look well? All right, Renee. Hi from cold and freezing Germany. Welcome, Renee, from beautiful, blue sky, amazing Florida.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. So today's topic is this thing. I think did I show it yet? No. All right. Okay, right now it's getting colder. It's 74. It's down to 74 degrees. All right. I know it's bad. You know what it is? We sweat to death all year, but this is the one time where we get to go, yeah, this is why we live in Florida. A month from now, we'll be suicidal, but right now, bang.
I got to shovel some sunshine.
All right. So Monica's here. She says, hello from Toronto. Met a new photographer the other day. Couldn't believe he didn't know Scott Kelby, so I schooled him. And you just emailed him to make sure he's watching today. Monica, I'm super digging you. Thank you very much for doing that. And Marcus says, this is the first time I get on live. All right. Welcome, Marcus. He's in Montreal, Canada. Awesomeness. All right. Here's our topic today. Ready? You know what it is. It's eat this, not that, right? Oh, I'm not on that control panel. Oh, I'm sorry. My phone was over there for a minute. So, all right. Eat this, not that. There you want. You want to eat the nice pizza. You want to shoot the nice pizza. You don't want to shoot that crappy pizza. That pizza looks just like a wheel of a car with a flat. Anyway.
Look what Ben has to say.
Ben says, watch this, not that. Yeah, whatever else is out there, Ben, you got to watch this. Okay, so here's what I wanted to do, because I actually am trying to do something good here. We all wind up taking a lot of cliche shots. And you know what? It's okay. You know what? I want to give you some alternatives, because we're all going to shoot our pets and we're going to do those things. And I don't want you to think we make jokes about like shooting on the railroad tracks. We're like, right. You can't shoot on the railroad tracks at all. You can shoot anything. There's no one that should tell you what you can or can't shoot. But if you shoot certain things, then Larry and I make fun of you. That's different. That's a whole different set of stuff. But it doesn't mean you should be able to shoot anything you want. And so today we're going to look at, basically, I want to show you the typical stuff that we see submitted on the grid, right? So
sure.
Like when we do our blind critiques. And then I want to show you what you should be doing for that same topic, right? And so we use the help. Now, all of the images I'm going to show you are actually stock photography. The before pictures are the ones that are, not that, are actually stock photos. The ones that are the examples all came from 500px. So if you're not familiar with 500px, they're a wonderful online community for very serious photographers. Like, their photography quality is off the chain. So I just took screen captures of the screens, their pages. So I wanted to make sure that we were able to give credit to the wonderful photographers. But we're going to basically talk about what makes the shots work. All right. So let's just go ahead and start. I'm over explaining it because you'll see and you'll go, oh, I get it. Here's our first shot. And this is pretty much, I would say, not far from the typical cat shot that we see. People will submit shots to the grid. For those guys who were watching a couple of weeks ago, you saw shots that look just like this. And this is your typical cat shot. Now, we make fun if you don't shoot your cat. But if you have a cat, you're going to do it, right? You're going to take photos of your cat. I take photos of Maggie the Wonder Dog. But it's different because Maggie the Wonder Dog happens to be the most amazing and photogenic and just incredible dog in the planet. But this is a cat, and we all hate cats. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Just a joke. So this is the not that picture. Don't shoot this. So what would a really good cat picture look like? Like this.
Wow. That is from hugely different.
Fardo Dopstra. I think this is an absolutely beautiful shot, but I want to show you the difference between where we were and where we're at.
And the focus point is the same. It is the eyes and the face.
Yep.
And there is fall off on both of them.
Right, but look at the difference in the depth of field in this one.
Yeah.
Where there's a little bit of out of focusness. I mean, you could almost say this cat is pretty in focus from front to back.
Yeah.
This cat's out of focus already just past his head.
Yeah, that's true.
There is a very, very shallow depth of field, but there's something bigger. Look at the angle. This is shot, I'm looking down at my cat.
Right.
Right? This is, I got down at my cat's level. You are laying on the floor and you are right straight in there. Stephanie says that cat is totally gangsta. So you're looking straight in.
You know what this reminds me of is as part of just a company getaway, probably 10 years ago, we all went over to Epcot.
Yep.
And I remember very specifically, and I've never taken pictures of flowers the same since, you said, "What are you doing?" Because I was taking pictures of flowers.
Standing up?
And you go, "What are you doing?" Everybody takes a picture of flowers looking down at them like that. And I was taking a picture of what I thought was a decent looking flower. And you said, "You want to get down at ground level." And my stupid picture of a flower turned out so much better. This is something like that.
Yeah, here you're looking down on a cat and it looks very average because that's the average way we see a cat. This particular one, when you're down, it changes everything. But look at the tone of the picture. It's warm.
Yeah.
It's got a very subtle vignette going around it. The cat's eyes look bigger because of how you've positioned yourself.
Sure.
And the cat is giving you something. This cat looks like lights out. Like
well, and another problem here is the light is even throughout the entire image.
Yep.
And you have a shadow in the eye. Left to us, the cat's right eye. And here you don't have any of the shadows in the face or the eye. And you have beautiful lighting on the face and fall off on the body.
Yes. Like what is supposed to be lit is lit, and what's supposed to fall off is fall off. It's just, this is actually beautifully done. And the difference between here and here, how much is it in money? 0. This is a cat taken in your house. This is a cat taken in your house. It's not like, well, I don't have the money to shoot a cat like that. This is really about technique and post-processing. The post on this is beautiful.
I can see a platypod coming in handy.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you don't mind laying on the floor, you use a platypod. I would be like, I'm using a platypod. But also the miracle is just getting a cat to stay there.
Yeah.
Because cats, they don't want to stay. They're like, look, I'm out. Because cats aren't motivated for treats like dogs are. Like,
you know about laser pointers, right?
You use a laser pointer with a cat?
Oh, yeah. Are you kidding me?
I'm allergic to cats.
Oh, well, okay, so...
that cat would have to be a long way away from me.
So we have a couple cats and a dog, and we have laser pointers just for our entertainment on the coffee table. You just pick up, and they will chase for an extended period of time. And you can get a cat in the really big-eyed position where their pupils are giant because they're chasing it. It's just the way that cats get. And you could get a cat to the right position and get them to pose way better than a dog if you have a laser pointer. It's a great way to work.
So Larry, there already is a dog photographer.
I've heard of that.
You could be the cat photographer.
Yeah.
You could be Catman. Catman! Da-da-da-da-da-da. All right. That was just one to get us going, but that's going to give you the idea. Hey, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we've got a bunch of examples for you. We're looking at all kinds of different stuff. And yes, we're doing train tracks. Oh, yeah. Because I want to show that if you do it right, it can be really beautiful. If you do it wrong, it can look like what we normally see.
And you have to pay attention to what's both directions on the
Yeah,
train
don't
tracks.
get hit.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, a whole lot more than that. Larry Becker's here. We're having an awesome day. Please come back soon. Don't go away.
Hey guys, my name's Peter Hurley, and you are here in my studio, and I am going to teach this class on the top 10 questions I get regarding headshot photography. So here's what you're going to get. These are big ones. You ready? How do you chill out your subject? How do you get their good side? How do you take weight off of somebody that's a little bit heavier? How do you get glare out of the glasses? What about continuous versus strobe? I'm going to go over those and many more in this class. Come join me on kelby1.com.
Hi, I'm Stella Kramer. I'm a photography consultant and Pulitzer Prize-winning photo editor, New York City. In my class, you're going to learn how to edit and sequence your work and make yourself a better photographer in the process. You'll learn how to work with color and black and white and put them together, and you'll learn how to tell the stories that your work needs to tell. I'm Stella Kramer. Check out my class at kelby1.com.
I've been here 4 times. I continue to learn new and fabulous things about photography and Photoshop and Lightroom.
You come here with one thing on your mind, probably going to end up leaving with interest in other areas.
You want to stay in the know and stay on the cutting edge. This is the place to do it.
Anyone that has a passion for creative things, photography, design, they attend Photoshop World.
Hey, we're back. Thank you for sticking with us. My name is Scott Kelby. I am joined by Mr. Larry Becker. And we are doing shoot this, not that. So we're showing you some cliche shots, some things that, you know, we've talked about in the past, and we're going to show you ways that some amazing photographers over on 500px have taken there and really just embraced it and done a beautiful job. So we just saw our cat example. Hey, before we get to our next one, just want to mention Photoshop World. The Photoshop World Conference is coming up. It's our first time in Orlando in 3 years. So we'll be in Orlando, Florida on April 20th through 22nd. All of your friends will be there. You need to come out.
I'm getting emails all the time. I can't wait to see you there. I can't wait to be there.
People love Larry.
Yeah, no, it's not about me.
No, it's about you,
okay,
Larry.
it's about me. But there's going to be a lot of people there. I'm
gonna jam.
hearing from people that are like, I haven't been for a little while, and I can't wait. You know, I've been. Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't been in Orlando like 3 years. So so it's the only Photoshop World we're doing this year because Adobe is taking Adobe Max to Vegas at the same time frame we would normally be in Vegas. So we're going to be...
oh, we could outdo Adobe, right? Okay, never mind.
No. They're Adobe. They're like $1 billion company.
Yeah.
We just now afforded our cups. So anyway... Mark Faustin says he's got a name for your thing. Cat breath photography.
Oh, very
fishy.
Cool. Very
hey, Mark
cool.
Rodriguez says, I will be there at Photoshop World. Woo! All right. Dan Hull. Oh, I'm always going to read a comment like this. Dan Hull says, I liked my Flash before. After watching Scott's Just One Flash class,
right.
I like it even more. 2 thumbs up. Thank you, Dan. All right. Anonymous says, they saw me on TV in the end zone during Sunday's game. I was on all sides of the field, but yes, that was me in the end zone. I was ending. Okay, real quickly. Oh, look at that. Alex says, hello from Canada. I love it when I don't work Wednesday evenings. Means I can watch the grid live. And Deb Usilka says, I'm bringing my cat to the Lightroom seminar in Boston just for you. Deb, I'm allergic to cats. If during the middle of the
That's
day...
weird. I'm allergic to Deb. Kidding.
Take the
I love
cat
Deb.
and just lay him across my face while I'm teaching. It will be a short seminar. Okay, let's take a look at our next one. So we do have, yes, I've been saving it, the railroad track shot taken by a professional photographer. The shot is for sale online. Now, what's wrong with this shot? Well, can I tell you the cigarette butt right in the front isn't helping. Neither is the photographer's shadow.
Wait a second. So this is an image that is for sale.
Yes.
What I'm trying to get through my head is I'm not putting up images for sale online. And all my stuff is better
and
than
you're
this.
like, I thought I should have. All right. Okay, so I was telling Larry, we looked at this. Larry has not seen the photo I'm going to recommend. But I did show him this one, and I'm like, there's a cigarette butt, there's rocks and stuff. If I were going to shoot this railroad track, the first thing I would do, and I hate to say this, is I would weed that area. I would get rid of that cigarette butt and the garbage stuff, and I would literally pull those weeds, not all the way down the track, just at that right in front of me, the foreground. But there's other issues. So I want to show you what a great, again from 500px, I want to show you what a great, I think it's a great photography railroad track shot. Take a look.
Wow.
Is that gorgeous? This is photographer Larry McMahon. Go follow him on 500px. Now, you're thinking, oh, well, sure, he went to some exotic place. Yeah, if you went to like Croatia or one of these amazing places, you could get some incredible shot. This is in Winslow, Arkansas.
That is beautiful.
You know why? Here's what Larry did. First off, Larry shot this in absolutely beautiful light.
No question.
Number two is instead of just choosing a boring, straight piece of track, he chose a beautiful piece of track, and his angle of attack is gorgeous. He also did it when there was some atmosphere. Now let's look at the other shot. This is taken in the worst possible light. This looks like it was taken probably at 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, or maybe a little later, but it's taken in harsh, nasty light. It is, you can see the photographer's shadow. There's garbage on the ground. There was no way this was going to be a good shot.
Would you say that photographer must be untrained?
Wow.
I would just think so.
Larry's becoming uncoupled. Wow. I wish you could have seen my face when Larry said that. All right, so take a look at this shot from Larry McMahon here. Just look at the light on the rails. It's just, this is so much great. The color is great. The shadows are soft. It's either taken at, I think it's taken at dawn.
And I'm thinking rule of thirds is applicable here.
Oh yeah,
it's beautiful composition.
It's just a one. When you can take a beautiful shot of a railroad track, you're there. Now, can I say this? This is a beautiful shot of a railroad track.
Yeah.
It's something that we see so many bad and cliche pictures of. This is gorgeous. This is just absolutely gorgeous. But I think that says a lot. Is, you know, sometimes we talk about, oh, it's a railroad track, but I see this and I'm like, dang, dude,
yeah,
that is beautiful. So, of course, sometimes if you pick a cliche subject, you're going to get a cliche shot. This guy, hats off to Larry McMahon. I think he did a beautiful, beautiful job. Hey, Jay Levine writes in and says, I am all set. I will be there. Number 5, Photoshop World. 5th Photoshop World, better every year.
Oh,
Thanks.
gets to go to the special.
Oh yeah, you get to go to the special alumni thing, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. Robin says, I've never been to Florida or Photoshop World. So exciting about going this April. All right. So you've never been to Florida? It's like a big strip mall. It's like a big flat, lots of stores and restaurants.
Flat. It is shockingly
very flat. But we have amazing beaches and Photoshop World. So, and Larry's here often. So anyway, those are some great things. We're glad to have you here, Robin. That's cool. And of course, Bruno Miguel Santos says he wants to start a petition to change Photoshop World to Larry's World.
Oh, I think that would be bad. There's already a Larry's World, and we're not allowed to talk about what it is.
All right. Let's move on, shall we?
Please.
Let's take a look at another
Pictures,
shot.
Yes.
Now, this is actually a pretty good shot.
That's not terrible.
It's not terrible. You've got 3 very, very cute little girls.
And they're appropriately well lit.
Yeah, and you can tell that the photographer said, hey, can you all wear these blousy white outfits? The what you call it? The sky is not awesome, and that's for sure. Now you could make that sky a whole lot more awesome just in post-production, just by pulling back some of the highlights. I think it would be into it. But I want to show you the next shot, because this is actually a pretty good shot. But it shouldn't be what you're shooting for. We see this thing a lot, and a lot of people sell this. A lot of people make money off this.
Right.
This shot was for sale, but a lot of people would do this for their client. But you could also do this.
Okay,
Isn't that absolutely gorgeous? Now, the 2 little girls, they're adorable, but so are the other little girls.
Right.
They're adorable. How much more does it cost to create this shot than this shot? What's the extra expense? 0. But what it is one of the problems that's going on here is it's not shot at a great time. It's kind of an overcast, blah day in the middle of the day. If you look, some of their skin tones are a little bluish.
Well, and that's actually a good time of day to shoot with the diffused light. So it's not that the time of day is especially bad.
Well, no, the light isn't harsh, but the light's not beautiful.
I agree.
So what the cloud cover's doing is it's keeping it from being harsh, because harsh would have been just a disaster.
Yeah.
So this is what I just call, it's just flat light. It's not really, really great. It's just okay, because it would be terrible without the overcast.
Yeah.
but it's not the right time of day. Now, the right time of day was probably coming 2 hours after this, right?
With the warm glow.
Right. And also the skin tones and the overall color. Part of this, guys, is post-processing. I'll just tell you straight up. It's a wonderful photograph, and it has to start there, but this is beautifully post-processed. Number one is, do you notice the super shallow depth of field?
Yeah.
Look at the depth in the very front of the picture down here. And this is Susie Mead, so congratulations to Susie. Beautiful. This was taken at Death Valley.
Wow.
All right. Very, very
Not
nice.
what I think of when I think of Death Valley.
Exactly. Beautifully done. Really shallow depth of field in front and behind. So I'm going to say this was probably shot at like maybe f2.8 or, well, let's see. It was shot at f2. It's right there.
Yeah.
Shot with a Canon EOS 6D. Shot at f2. All right. On a 200 millimeter lens. It's a beautiful lens for portraits, by the way. All right. Now go back to the other shot. This was probably shot at f8.
Right. No, you get a little bit. Look,
It's
look at
just
the,
a tiny bit out of focus.
Yeah, look
it's
at
a long lens.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, all right, f5.6.
Okay.
All right, thank you. All right. Hey, I just saw Jared Poland's here. Fro's here. Jared, welcome. Congratulations on your app.
Very cool
I don't know if you
software.
saw earlier, we got to show it, but it's very, very well done. Congratulations to you. We wish you the greatest success with it. All right. So anyway, the depth of field is not very shallow. Nothing compared to this.
No. And
All right.
also, I love the rim light, the edge light on the girl's hair.
The edge light. But you know what? Look, there is a little edge light here. There's a little bit of edge light there. But you know
Yeah.
what it is? This is really a shot where the timing was perfect.
Yeah.
They went to a great location. Here, I am seeing the tire tracks and the junk
True.
on the ground. Here, you don't see any of that. It's obscured by the thing. This is a very well composed shot. It has beautiful post-processing. It doesn't cost a penny more to do that than it does to do this.
Yeah, and the horizon, the thing that actually, when I saw this, just shocked me was, first of all, the blinding white top half.
Yep, right, all
and
this
the
up here.
fact that it is specifically divided in half.
Yet they are cut right in between, and here the horizon line is below them.
Yep.
All right, so it's not like, you know, it's actually not that far away, except for they're not centered, they're off-centered, and they're in the lower third of the shot, where here, whoops, so we kind of zoomed in there. Here, they're dead center.
Yeah.
It's just dead center. So this is a compositional problem. It's a lighting problem. It's just, you know, and this is just absolute gorgeous. Congratulations to Susie Mead. This is done beautifully all the way around, and hats off to you. And follow her over at 500px.com. So that's another one. Got some comments here. Let's see. Anonymous says, question for Scott. I want to go to Photoshop World, but I'm having a hard time with classes being at the same time that I guess you want to attend, and understanding how to sign up for the different hands-on photo walks. I feel like I need a class on attending Photoshop World.
Hey.
Okay, well, Larry actually teaches a class. So Larry does
That's so funny.
Larry does a class that is, what is it called?
What's the orientation for first timers?
Oh yeah, he does. But there's a word for first timers. What is it called?
I always thought it was first timers orientation.
First timers orientation is what it's called. There's another word for it.
I don't know.
Anyway, it doesn't really matter what the word is. What matters is, yeah, Larry actually teaches that. So I will tell you this, as far as classes, you can go to any class anytime. So you don't have to sign up for them in advance. When you show up to Photoshop World, you choose which class you want to go to. We have an app, and you can, choose which one you want to go to. And if you go to a class and you go, oh, this isn't what I thought it was, you can get up and sneak out and go to a next class.
Yeah, because you're not assigned to a class. You
you're
have
not
a
assigned.
booked room for it.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that we wanted to do was to make it really, really flexible. And sometimes people will switch classes if they're like, this is either over my head or this is
It's not exactly what I thought it was going to be.
or I already know this stuff or whatever. And then you can go to another class. But you know what? When you have 100 classes, there will always be like, oh, I want to go to Joe McNally's class, but at the same time, Moose Peterson's doing a class, or Peter Hurley, or, So
Well, one of the other things that's so cool about Photoshop World is all of the instructors supply their materials in advance, so you get a workbook. And it's digital and printed.
Yep.
And you get this workbook that has all the notes from all the classes. So yeah, you're going to go to a class. So what I always tell people in the orientation session is, if you're down to go into 2 classes and you're going, I can't make up my mind between these two, go to the one that you know the least about, because you're going to get notes for both classes. So you go to the one that you know the least about, even though you go, I really want to go see this other class, but I know something about it. And then that way you can go back and look at the notes for the class you didn't attend and really immerse yourself in learning the stuff that you didn't know, the stuff that you know the least about. So it's an easy way to justify going to a specific class. But the thing that's so great, I know so many people, and I do this myself. You come back from Photoshop World, and for 2 or 3 weeks, you're every day just take that workbook out, flip through, look at a couple tutorials. Yeah, I want to go back and do that thing. And you have this ongoing learning experience because of that workbook.
How many Photoshop Worlds have you been to, Larry?
All of them.
Yeah, that was really well said.
That's why I teach the
All
orientation
right.
class.
Hilmar's here. She says, I'm late. Well, we're still glad you're here, Hilmar. Marcel says, wish I could go to Photoshop World. Oh, by the way, did I mention how handsome you look, Scott? Well, first, Marcel, thank you for saying what everybody was thinking. Secondly, that's not going to help you get a free Photoshop World ticket. Anyway, Marcus says the sky and the rest is washed out. It really is. It's just washed out. It's just a... Now, can I show you something else too? There's a pretty serious vignette here, but it's done nicely. It's probably actually the radial filter in Lightroom.
Yeah.
But this is beautifully done. I just love this shot. I can't say enough about it. You know what it is? The color and the tone of a photo really, really matters. There's no color or tone here.
Well, and you don't have a place that you're looking in this picture. You don't have your eye isn't
but
focused.
these little girls are every bit as cute and adorable as these little girls.
Oh yeah.
And there doesn't cost a penny more to do this than it did that. It really is. This is when you're seeing a photographer that gets it. It's like, I get it. I need to be down at a lower angle because the shooting angle here, she's not shooting down on them.
Right.
They're compositionally very good. They picked a really, really great location. They post-processed it really well, and they waited for the right light. They did everything right, where I don't want to say this photographer did everything wrong, but they just did the standard stuff. I walked out into a field, and I took this photo of these girls.
So this...
Run towards me. Okay, click.
Yeah.
That's like art. Okay, we're going to move on. Next. So this is a very famous place in the Netherlands. It is a place where one morning I was speaking, and my brother and my buddy Jeff Ravel left and went and took photos there. I've never been there, but I'm going to show you 2 pictures taken from the same place. This is also a photo for sale online, and I'm going to so the next photo is the exact same place. Let's take a look.
Wow.
So the name of the place, I'm probably going to mispronounce it, and Johan will immediately come and fix this for me. Kinderjik. So this is from Juan Pablo de Miguel. Juan Pablo is a photographer. Let me tell you, Juan Pablo, beautiful stuff. Go follow him on 500px. And this is the exact same place. Now, what did this photographer do? A bunch of things. Number one, this photographer positioned themselves in a very great place to capture this. This photographer did not pick a good spot. They picked a horrible spot. I mean, yes, there are, you can see, yes, there are.
I'm thinking there's potential for a shot even from this angle, though.
Right. I think it would take a little, yeah, I mean, it really is like seeing all this stuff over here on the side of the house is not helping. This junk in the water is not helping. But look how he positioned himself to where, look at these leading lines. Look how the bridge leads you right to it. There's a beautiful reflection in the water. And the water is not, I wouldn't say it's not clean, but there's some, it's a little fuzzy. But it's the lighting. Guys, the lighting so much matters. Look at it's the time of day. It's the angle. He's got a low angle also. You notice how he's looking up towards. When you get down low and you shoot up towards these, it makes them look bigger and more impressive. It's the reason why we shoot football down low. You shoot football on our knees, which, by the way, I could barely walk after the game the other night. I'm like,
knee pads,
hey, 100. Oh, Johan says, that's my backyard. Like, that's my backyard. Wow. So, yeah, it's a beautiful area. It's very, very famous. And the time of light, this has got to be, I think, what do you think, dawn or dusk?
Yes.
It's dawn or dusk, and just beautiful. So that's...
It's probably dusk.
Could be dusk. There's some beautiful color. right? And but it's just, this is what you need to be aiming for. This is a snapshot. This is basically documenting that you were standing in that spot, and this is an image. And that's what you're shooting for. So hats off to Juan Pablo Di Miguel, who did just a beautiful job on this image. I think it's just, and it's just, look at the composition of the three, how the triangle of the three windmills. I want to say lighthouse. They're not. They're windmills. Windmills. I mean, this is a beautifully crafted shot. So very, very, very nice. All right, so Anonymous asked this question. It's a Photoshop World question for Scott or Larry. How long are the portfolio reviews? Like 20 minutes, an hour, and what media is preferred? iPad prints. The portfolio reviews are, I would say, between 15 and 20 minutes. They're not an hour. They're usually between 15 and 20 minutes, one-on-one with an instructor. And the media that's preferred, I can tell you, I've never met someone doing a portfolio who wouldn't prefer large prints.
Yeah.
There is something about a print that can't be copied in any way. And can I tell you why prints? There is a thing that happens with human emotion through touch. So we have sight, we have sound, we have smell, we have touch. We are attached more to things that we touch. When they look at your prints, when they feel your prints, it's real. When you look at it on an iPad, I'm like looking on the web.
Yeah.
Now I will tell you the difference. If you're trying to impress the person, like you're trying to get a job, I would absolutely take prints.
No question.
If you just want an instructor to tell you, fix this, fix that, here's what you can do, this is good, this is bad, iPad would be fine.
Right.
But I can tell you, anyone looking at your images, any professional would generally love to see them in their real state, which is printed. That's when they're born.
Yeah, and I think the way to answer it is to get them. If you have a small need and you're pretty comfortable with your portfolio, it's been working well for you, and you just want to tweak it and get a real pro to help you tweak it, that's where you bring it in on an iPad, a big iPad, but that's where you bring it in on the iPad and say, I have these questions about my portfolio. But if you want to go in there just raw and say, here's all my images, help me make this a great piece to impress other people, that's where you come in with the big portfolio. You'll get more overall information.
Yeah. Hey, I want to answer 3 questions real quick in a row. Diane asks, what size prints? So Diane, I would say this, and I'll let you think about this. So if you were going to show me your pictures and I was going to see them on your phone, right? Would you rather show me your pictures to me on your phone or your iPad? Which would you rather me choose? I know that you're going to go, well, my iPad, of course. Okay. So your iPad is 9 inches?
Yeah, 9.7.
9.7. Thank you, Larry.
Yeah, no problem.
If you could show me your images on an iPad or an iPad Pro, which would you rather show me? Diane would go, well, yeah, the iPad Pro is bigger. That should answer your question. The bigger the image, the more impact it's going to have. Seriously, the bigger the image, the more impact. That's why sometimes you'll go into like a hotel or something and there's these big giant images and you're like, they just bowl you over. Or when you actually look at them, you go, that seemed like a really great picture, but when I look at it, it's just because it's so big.
Yeah, so
it's cheating.
If it'll fit on a little 2-person table, like a little lunch table in a conference room, because that's where these reviews are done, you just go in there with your portfolio, and if you have 22-inch images, fine, there's room for it.
16 by 20 would be a really nice size. If you can go bigger than 16 by 20, you don't want to make 24 by 36, movie poster size. But I would think a 16 by 20 would be a very nice size. All right, Cameron McCready has a wonderful. He used the word to sum it up, and he summed it up beautifully. Cameron says, to sum them all up, the second photographs have all paid attention to detail. And the first ones haven't.
Yeah, that's exactly
Cameron,
it.
that is it. It's all those little things that make a big difference. I want to answer this one more. Peter says, can you expand about the composition related to models on the horizon line? Yeah, so Peter, generally, number one is we don't want to put anything in the center of the frame. We call dead centers just dead awful. And the reason why we don't want to do that, Peter, is because anybody that's brand new to photography, the first thing they do is they center everything up. And like if a kid takes a photo, you would go, well, don't put too much room in the top and don't put too much room in the bottom. And you would shoot it in the middle. Your average person is always going to put whatever they photograph in the center of the picture. So if you want your images to look like the average person's, put your kids running in the middle. So the horizon line you don't want in the center of the photo, because that's where anybody brand new to photography, if they go to the beach and they shoot a sunset, that horizon line is going to be dead in the middle.
Yeah.
They're going to use the little line in their camera to line it up. But if you want your images to look more dynamic, you would take that horizon line, and there's a rule about this, by the way. Ready for the rule? If the sky is more interesting, you would compose it to where you show more sky. You take the horizon line and move it to the bottom third, so you see lots of sky, and it creates a much more dynamic image. Now, in their case, with the girls running, let's go back and look at that. There's way too much sky. It's a horrible, washed out sky. They should have shot this where you saw the least bit of sky possible. You would have put only at maybe the top third or less of the sky showing. This does not do anything but ruin the photo. What if you cropped it to where it went right across here? That would change the horizon line and everything. It would make the horizon line appear. In fact, can you give me 1 second? Can you switch off my screen for a second? Let me see if I can open it without spoiling anything. 1 second.
Yeah, and crop it here too.
Yeah.
Because
all
they're
right.
looking.
Yeah. Okay, so let's take a look on screen. We can show back again here. I just didn't want to show other things that we haven't shown yet.
Yeah.
So I would crop this in camera. I would have cropped it much more like that.
Yeah.
Now, if you wanted to show a bigger field, you better have very little.
Can you guys see the grid that was on there when he was cropping?
Yeah. Ooh, there is a rule of thirds grid that appears. See how it divides your thing into thirds? I want the horizon line up in that top third. And when you crop it like this, now the horizon line isn't in the center, it's up in the top third. Now you can see it still cuts through their body, but there's not a whole lot you can do about that, except for you don't want it in the center. But this cropping, number one, you still know they're in a field and it's full of flowers, but you got rid of all that awful sky.
Dirt.
There was a lot of, look how much sky is left up there. That's nothingness up there.
Yeah.
So it's just, and if you wanted more, I want more field or whatever, then fine, no problem. But don't show more sky. Crop it or, in camera or whatever. So that's what you see, as little sky as possible. So I hope that helps. There's more to it than that, but at least that gets you going. If you want to learn more about that, I have a class on Kelby 1 called Crush the Composition. It's all about composition, and we go into I actually show all kinds of.
That's the one that was filmed here in Tampa Outdoors?
It was filmed in an outdoor amphitheater at night, and we had a live crowd. It was a lot of fun.
I was there. That was the coolest.
Larry's everywhere.
No, that was an awesome class. That was a great,
Thank you. You're
great
very
class.
kind. All right, let's go back to our thing already in progress. I hope that answered you. D. Dale asked, why wouldn't they use a sky overlay? Yeah, there are a lot of things you could have done to fix this. Okay, so we saw these two. All right. Next is the Colosseum in Rome. I've been there myself. You know what it looks like? Just like that. It's an old Colosseum. Now, you're going to see the exact same place, right? Right there. This one's taken by Antonio Gaudencio, and looks like he's from Lisbon, Portugal. But wherever he goes, obviously, he can shoot his butt off. So follow Antonio on 500px. You can actually buy this print from him, and that's a print I would put on my wall.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
What did Antonio do? Antonio got up first thing in the morning. Antonio got there before there were any crowds, before there were tourists, before there were horse-drawn carriages, before there was anything distracting. Antonio went there where there was amazing sky. And look where his camera is. Almost on the ground. He's either shooting on his knees or sitting on the ground or using a platypod. He is literally very low. Now, this is, if you go back and look at the other one, that's cobblestone right there.
Wow.
Right? But look at all this junk that's there. Look at the harsh shadows. And this is another.
Middle of the
shot
day.
is for sale on the web. And this shot is for sale on the web as well.
This is one I would buy.
That's a beautiful shot. I love the lighting on the inside. So it's just, It's just, this is a really well post-processed, crafted shot from top to bottom. And again, it's all these little things that really, really make a difference. They really, really do. Look at the difference here. And again, how many times today has the problem been bad light? It's been
every time.
Yeah. And also, how many of these shots are taken from a standing position? The bad shots, almost without exception, have been taken with someone standing there just at eye level. Just like we talked about the beginners. Beginners are going to put things dead in the center of the photo. Beginners are going to shoot every single shot from a standing position. And then when you shoot from a standing position, you're pretty much in the same. That's beautiful. I mean, that's just a really, I would love to see it wide. But part of the problem may be, if you've been to the Coliseum, just to the left is a Pizza Hut. No, I'm just kidding. All right. All right. So Ryan asked a question. I noticed when you cropped, you didn't lock the aspect ratio. So Ryan, normally I always lock you know why? You do not have to keep the original aspect ratio. There's no rule about it. I just like to. I'm so locked in on what the frame looks like from a DSLR that I always want to keep it. But in this case, I was trying to show you, this is a mess. We got to try to fix it. So I did not. Normally, I would keep it. So thanks for asking. All right, let's look at another one. So this is a hummingbird. This image is for sale. The hummingbird's fairly sharp, and he's kind of hanging out somewhere. It's a hummingbird. And so is this.
Crisp.
William Lee. Beautiful, beautiful shot, William. This is from 500px. Follow him on 500px, William Lee. The crispness of this shot. Well, first, you have beautiful light. Here you have just flat light, middle of the afternoon.
That lens is awful. Look what it's doing to the boat.
Yeah,
in the
and what it may be, and it's hard for me to tell. The background that is out of focus is not flattering at all. It's not out of focus enough. And I don't know if you cropped it really tight, like maybe this hummingbird was far away and you had to crop it tight, and the lighting is bad, and the hummingbird is doing absolutely nothing interesting. You have to wait for a hummingbird to do something interesting. Look at how nice his background is out of focus. All right, he's using a 90mm lens at looks like f2.8. Now the lens is f2.8. I can't swear that he shot it at f2.8, but that looks like an f2.8 background. Look how sharp it is, and look at the beautiful color, guys. I talked about this earlier. How many shots today the color has been a massive difference? The lighting, the color, the composition. Is he shooting down or up on the bird?
Straight across.
Straight across. This is beautifully just, I think it's a beautiful, but the level of detail is just absolutely gorgeous. Sandra asks, hey, I'm going to Rome thanks to you, booking the Vatican tour. Sandra, San people, get the private tour that opens an hour before the public gets in. However extra much it costs, once the doors are open, it is like being at Disney World when a ride opens. It's just people, when you get there an hour early, and you do have to pay extra for the private tour, it is unbelievable. You will have access and be able to shoot things like you can't miss. But the name of the restaurant that you have to go to, the best restaurant in Rome, is Mimi and the letter E, Coco, C-O-C-O. Go look it up on Google for the address. Mimi E Coco, M-I-M-I, the letter E, Coco. You will thank me. By the way, people go there all the time and they email me back, oh my gosh, I get emails all the time because I talked about it on my seminar tour. So that is William Lee. We have more images to look at. We're going to take a short break because Jen says it's time to take a break. We listen to everything she says. We don't question. We just do it. We'll be right back. Larry's here. I'm here. Hummingbird's here.
Hi, I'm Kaylee Greer of Dog Breath Photography. When people look through my images, they typically ask me, what in the world? How are all these dogs that you photograph so perfectly well behaved? Are these magical dogs from a magical land? Well, I gotta tell you, no, they're not. They're real dogs. We're going to work with multiple dogs and getting them all in one really nice group shot together. We're gonna work with a wild, crazy, untamed puppy. We're going to work with a black and a white dog together. We're also gonna deal with a fearful, skittish shelter dog. Photographing dogs, as you know, can be incredibly challenging. Oh wow! situations that you would have to deal with in any normal dog photo shoot. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Difficult dogs. Real world scenarios. Wow. It got loud. Difficult dogs. Real world scenarios. Join me in my class on kelby1.com.
Hi, my name is Heather the Painter, and I'm excited to be able to show you how to use Corel Painter 2017 to easily paint your photographs into beautiful paintings. In this course, you will learn how to clone with precision, how to build up freehand color, and then to refine with simple blending techniques. We'll talk about brush settings that can customize to your style and using the cloning engine. So please join me at kelby1.com to learn how to use Corel Painter 2017 to paint your photographs into beautiful paintings.
I'm Amanda Powell, and I'm a wedding photographer out of Sarasota, Florida. One thing that captured my attention when I first discovered Kelby One's website was the array of professionals that they use to teach the photography. Each individual class was extremely organized. It was from start to finish. I feel comfortable with the photographers that they support. For me, it's a relationship. You establish them and they last a lifetime.
Hey everybody, I'm here. Larry's here. We're all here.
Here.
What happens tomorrow on New Class Thursday? I'll tell you what happens. Brand new class from Peter Hurley, the top 10 headshot techniques. I think you guys saw the trailer for that earlier, right? Didn't they?
I don't know. I didn't see a Peter Hurley
It's a
trailer.
brand new Peter Hurley class. It goes live tomorrow. Peter Hurley is awesome. We went up to New York City. Juan was there. Weren't you there, Juan? Juan said it was a good time.
I've learned so much from Peter.
I've learned so much from Juan.
Oh, that too.
Oh, Peter's good, sure. But really, it's Juan. But anyway, go check out that class on Kelby One. We release a new class every single week, every Thursday. Now, sometimes, I'll tell you honestly, we release them on Wednesday sometimes.
Wow.
It's not new class Thursday. It's just sometimes we put them up early. Don't tell anybody. All right.
So on Thursday, it's new-ish class.
All right. Okay, Sandra says, thanks, Scott. I booked the early tour. Great. But I'm not buying a Tamron. My old 24 to 105 will have to do. All right. Listen, Sandra. You know we're giving away 2 of these gift cards. I'm going to just pull one out for you. We'll give away 2, but I'm going to pull a second one for you. We're going to give you this Lens Pro to go. Go rent 24 to, what is it? No, it's an 8. What the heck is it? It's a 24 to 300. I'm going to send you one of these cards. It's not the one, we're still going to give away 2. But Lens Pro to Go has given us some for every week. I'm going to take somebody's from the future and send this to you. So Jen will stock you, and so you can rent a lens and take with you. You got to take a 105 is not going to do it. You got to go for 300. You'll thank me later. We're sending you a gift card. Put it towards your rental.
Very cool.
All right. Brandon says, and Brandon's talking about the Rome shot. Brandon says it's almost as if it was taken at the time it was built or still having battles there. Brandon, that's what I love about it because it shows a timelessness in that photo.
Exactly. You
right?
don't
There's
see
a timelessness,
fences
right?
and people walking
Let's go
around.
back and look at that just briefly.
Yeah.
This says, oh, this was shot what, last summer?
In the 90s.
Right, right.
Yeah,
You don't know when this was shot, right? But this one is like, so shoot this, don't shoot that. When it comes to hummingbirds, shoot this. Don't shoot that. By the way, how much more does it cost to shoot this one than this one? It's not a matter of money. Well, this lens might be really bad, so you might have to have a better lens. But you know what you do? Go rent one. I know a place you can rent lenses. All right, let's move on. We are back, but anyway, don't forget. Also, so we got Peter Hurley's class. I'm also doing my new seminar, my new Lightroom on tour. So it's me teaching a whole day of Lightroom. It kicks off in Boston. Ooh, that's a nice website. Look at that. It kicks off in Boston, and then I'm going to Philly. In Boston, I want to tell you I expect John Swartz to be there.
How can people get to this website?
I expect Deb Usilka. KelbyOneLive.com. Thank you, Larry.
Kelby One Live.
Kelby One Live, yeah. It's me. Just me, and you. You and me and you.
Lightroom
It's
on
me
tour.
and you,
Now,
and you and me.
At Lightroom
No
on
matter
at
how-
Lightroom on tour, is it all on the computer? Is it Lightroom mobile? Is it? What do
There's
you
a little bit of mobile, there's a little bit of web, there's a little bit of tethering, there's a little bit of everything. It's all the important stuff. I don't cover every stinking thing that Lightroom will do, just the stuff that people will actually use.
Okay.
It's all the good stuff in Lightroom with none of the bad stuff.
What if somebody is brand new to Lightroom? What?
They will love it. It will
Okay.
help them tremendously. I'm going to start off. We're going to all move together through this thing. So if you're brand new to Lightroom and you always wanted to get in it, you'll be fine. If you're advanced, you'll be fine. It's really Lightroom is just not that hard of a product. I have a way that I think that will help you learn it really, really quickly. At the end of the day, you'll be like, I got this. You're not going to be like, oh no, it seems daunting. At the end of the day, you're like, I got it. So it's learning Photoshop in a day. You can do Lightroom. We can do that. That we can do. We can get it. All right, let's move on. So this is a typical shot that we would see like on the grid. Typical. It's actually fairly nicely done compared to a lot of the wedding shots that we see.
That looks
on the grid.
almost, except for the people, it is almost identical to the shot that I took for my niece's wedding. So change out for my niece's face.
Yeah, okay, there's your niece.
Almost exactly that same shot with her husband in the back.
Right. You didn't retouch your face like this one though, did you?
No.
Okay, there we go. Anyway, but this is pretty typical of the shot that we see. Now, I'm going to show you. This would be the don't shoot this, right? Instead, shoot this.
Wow.
Now, how much does it cost to shoot this shot? How much did you have to invest? All that's in here is the bride and some drapes. That's it. There's nothing. You didn't buy a prop. You didn't. These are the drapes in the, I don't know, reception hall, wherever. This is literally. But let's look at everything. And this is a beautiful shot. I want to. Evgeny Gaidnitz. I apologize. I'm going to spell it just in case it's small and you're watching on an iPhone or something. It's Evgeniy. That's the first name. Geynits. And go follow them on 500px.com, which is where the shot, we took the screen capture. This image is for sale, and it's just amazing. This is shot, look at the angle.
Okay, so
very low.
So you're saying shoot this, not that. This is one of the first ones that I'm like, how do you think of that? That's what I'm.
But here it is, Larry. This is honestly the shot of a bride like using it's very common. This is a very popular shot.
Okay.
This is just executed absolutely perfectly. Look at the light. This is all natural light.
Right.
There's no lighting. There's no flash. The photographer, what makes this look so epic is they are using a wide angle lens and they're down low. They are literally shooting from a really low angle, shooting up, and it makes the bride and the room look epic. This room is probably much smaller than it appears.
Okay.
They're probably using a 16 millimeter lens, and that wideness just makes it really just
dramatic.
Big and bold and dramatic. And this is your typical. I put the background out of focus, but you know what's really wrong here, and this is really bad? Her dress is blue.
Oh, yeah, that is bad.
You do not want to hear, the last thing you want to hear a bride say is, why is my dress blue? It's because you're using auto white balance and you're shooting in the shade. Now, this person nailed the white balance. All you have to do is change the white balance setting on your camera to match where you're shooting. They were shooting indoors. And they were using natural light.
Yeah.
I'm guessing they changed their white balance to be daylight. Now, if they saw daylight was not right and it needed to be warmer, they changed it. Here, this is auto white balance. Auto white balance, when you step in the shade, makes look at the groom's shirt blue.
Yeah, I never use auto white balance. Almost under just about anything, any circumstance I can think of.
I hate to admit it. I use auto white balance most of the time. But I'm very, very careful that if I see the color, then I go change it.
Yeah.
Like outdoors, auto white balance works great. But on a cloudy day, it doesn't work as great.
Right.
In the shade, it doesn't work like you can see here at all. So, and you probably have less adjustments to make, Larry, because you do keep constantly changing your white balance to suit the scene. Your skin tones are probably really on. Sometimes I have to fix mine later because I shoot
at the same time, I'm shooting raw. And so if I'm shooting with without auto white balance, if I'm shooting in the wrong white balance, but I'm shooting raw,
Right.
then I just grab that group of pictures and I change it all
Right,
to the
all
right
at
white
once.
balance
Right.
in post-processing.
Yeah, and you
and
can
I'm not
certainly
worried
do
about
that. Yep. All right, so, and this is not a bad shot. This is but this is the typical shot that we see for weddings, and this is not. And this is the kind of thing that you're aiming for. What, did he have the bride do something amazing? Nope. She's just
She kicked the groom to the curb.
kicked the groom to the curb. Look how he has her looking not at her, not with a cheesy smile. It's dramatic. It's a moment. This is just an absolutely beautifully executed shot, just absolutely gorgeous. And that's what we're trying to do. These things aren't, oh, you got to go buy a lens. You have to get some lights. You have to buy some studio lighting. You need 2 assistants. This is natural light and just a wide angle lens down low and just having the bride make a beautiful romantic gesture. Now, when I've been with brides and I'm trying to get that pose, here's what I tell them. I go, look, this is like it's a fairy tale. You're the princess. So you're not going to go like this.
Yeah.
And you're going to,
movie.
you're going to be like this. Your gesture is going to be like, your gesture needs to be, I'm beautiful. And you have to like, look how beautiful I am when I do this, Larry.
Yeah, I noticed.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I'm gesturing upward. But I do. I tell them that I'm like, you're a princess. This is your day. You need to seize the day. And they feel awkward doing it until you walk over and show them the back of the camera.
Oh, yeah.
And then they're like, I mean, all of a sudden they become swans. But you got to get that first shot and show them. I know it looks stupid, but look how it looks, Because you're asking her to basically walk out and do this, and she's like, really, But then she goes, oh, that looks so beautiful. And then you're like, there you go.
I lucked into that exact thing. I actually hired a model for some work that I was doing here in the studio probably 6 years ago. And the girl that I hired happened to have worked as a Disney princess.
Yeah.
She was awesome at that. She was beautiful and nailed a lot of these kinds of poses.
Yeah.
Just
Because she was a princess.
Yeah, no question.
Larry, this has nothing to do with this shot at all, but I got to tell you, that your the cozy for your water bottle looks very awkward. Not when it's that way, when it's the other way.
It's like a hoodie.
No, turn it around the other way.
Like this?
That just looks weird.
What's weird?
It looks like doesn't it? Is it me or is that a big red penis? Can we get that off the set, Larry?
It's a hoodie, see?
Sure it is.
It's a hoodie. It's like that. And then it's like this, right?
Yo.
Because Coke, man. So, yeah, so that's better. So it looks just...
Oh, yeah, that's super.
It just looks bad.
Can you please put that down? We're going to get some kind of ratings problem here. All right, we got a couple more we're going to have to roll here. Here we go.
Please.
Now, this one is not going to be this is actually a pretty good shot. This is of a particular area. I can't think of the name. It begins with a T, Tanuk or something like that, in the Grand Canyon. Of course, it's the Grand Canyon. But I'm going to show you another shot from 500px, of course. This is from photographer Kove Tavakal. Oh, and maybe it says where it is. No, it's not. But anyway, the difference here is better light.
Yeah, much.
But having a person there that's willing to risk their life, having a person there just gives you a sense of scale that you really don't get from this one. This is not a bad shot. This is actually, but you know what you do see a lot of in this shot? When I look at this shot, I see a bunch of scrub brush and a stick up in the left corner and just some green stuff. And all of that takes away from it. And the fact that this was taken in the middle of the day, this is taken much later in the day.
The scrub brush is still there.
But it's just not the focus. It's not the focal point.
Well, and it's also color toned properly here.
Yep. The color is really pretty here. You can see it's late in the day because the rocks are getting soft shadows on them and all. And it's just, this is not as night and day as some of the other ones, but I think this was actually a very good example of what started off as a really good shot. But you want to shoot this, not this. That's
and I think
a bit snapshotty.
I think, and this is just my take on it. I think more than anything, if you look at the second shot, I think they probably boosted some of those shadows. I think there might be a little moderate HDR work going on because there is color, there is detail in those shadow areas. And this late in the day, those shadows are going to be kind of dark. So you don't have the dynamic range in a camera to bring that rich color up like it is.
Well, yeah, it's nicely post-processed for sure.
Yeah, so it's at least post-processed.
So follow
maybe a
Kelby
little-
on 500px. Kelby Tavakol, KovehtaVakkol, on 500px. Definitely followable. All right, let's see. We got some. All right, D. Schweitzer says, I got off work early because of a snowstorm. Same thing here, D. I get to see the grid live. Mark Rodriguez is talking about what was just to the right of the Coliseum. I had said it was Pizza Hut. He corrected me. Thank you, Mark. It is actually a Little Caesars pizza.
That's actually very funny.
All right, let's move on. This is a great one. So this is a portrait of a woman like in the back of a limo or in the back seat of a car. Yeah, I can't say it's a limo, but in the back seat of a car. Now, I can tell you just by looking at it real quickly what I saw were the problems as soon as I looked at it. Number one is there is only one reflection in her sunglasses, and it is a very, very crystal clear reflection of an umbrella.
Yeah.
I think it would be stronger without a big reflection of an umbrella, and you have another eye you could flip over there. This would be an easily fixable thing. Another thing is the very hard line that is going right through her face. The window is rolled down at a level. It would have either have to have been a soft edge on the window,
right,
which you can get by using depth of field, or lower it down. It's going right through her lips. It's a very, very...
It's awkward.
Weird. Hey, Skins Elliott says, watching this show live seems so much more fun. You know why, Skins? Because it can come off the rails at any time. Larry can pick up a red penile-looking thing in the middle. You just don't expect it, and stuff like that just happens live. Later, we edit all this stuff out. So if you watch this in replay...
I never thought about this looking like that.
Of course not.
I wouldn't be drinking from it.
Everyone pause for just a moment. Don't say a word.
Let's move along.
All right. So there are some issues on this shot. Let's take another look. This is from 500px of a woman in the back of the car portrait.
Wow, that's dramatic.
That's beautifully done. So let's look at the differences. Number one, the window's halfway down with her too. But they use such a narrow depth of field. This was shot with an 85-1.8, but it was done at f2.8. So it's an 85-1.8 on a Nikon D800 with the 85mm lens, but they shot it at f2.8 at 1/100th of a second at ISO 400.
That's what's amazing to me, that it's not a time exposure because it looks so light painted.
Well, they did a really... Now both of these tried to put just a little bit of light on the face. Look back here.
Yeah.
They tried to put just a little bit of light. So I see where this photographer was going.
Yeah.
And I admire them for doing that. But the inside of the car is completely jet black, right? Look at here. It's lit. Now, it can be lit by natural sources. It almost looks like they're on the strip in Vegas or something, and you're seeing lights from but maybe those lights are coming from a gelled flash. I don't know where it's from, but this is done right. Look how beautiful the light, that little bit of dollop of light on her. Her eyes look great. The lipstick looked great. The overall color, tone, and lighting, again, is just so nice. This is Simona Smirkova, and so follow her on, I believe it's her, on 500px.com. That's spelled S-M-I-O-N-A.
S-I-M.
S-I-M-O-N-A, sorry. S-M-R-C-K-O-V-A, Smirkova. And I could be wrong on the pronunciation, in which case I apologize in advance. But this looks like Hollywood.
Oh, it does.
I mean, this looks like just straight up Hollywood.
A bunch of these you've said, is this any more expensive than that? On this one, I would have to say yes, because they've got gelled lights. They've got...
well, you don't know that they're gel lights. Those could be natural reflections from something else. I think they're gel lights. but you don't know, Larry. That could be real.
That's true.
All right. So this one might be a little more advanced. This one is just...
This is like... telling your friend, hey, can you sit in the back of the car for a second?
Yeah.
And the other one is hired model, photo shoot. I mean, it just looks
it's
like
just,
that.
This is beautifully done, and the light is just very subtle, and the makeup is on it. Yeah, this is all that detail stuff, all that little stuff that the gentleman was saying earlier. This is really that thing that takes it over the top. We only have time for a couple more because we're just about out of time. All right, let's take a look at this next one. So this is an architectural shot, and this is pretty. If you like search for architectural shots, this is for sale online. All the before shots were for sale online. This one looks like a pretty typical architectural, I'm trying to show architectural shot. But there is a serious architectural photography is really, it's a different level. I was downtown on vacation, and I pointed my camera up and I got this shot with all the buildings.
So this one says to me, it's about geometry, and this is a title slide for a slideshow.
Yeah, it would be great for like
put text over the top of it.
Here's from 500px.
That's artwork.
That's art.
Beautiful.
That is Roland
These people need to get easier names.
Yeah, can you say his name there?
No, I can't.
All right, this is Toronto City Hall. So he didn't go someplace incredible. He didn't go to, Moscow or Dubai where you have these amazing skyscrapers. So Roland
Shanids.
We're going to go with that, and I hope we are not pronouncing it. But you definitely need to follow Roland on 500px. Go to Roland. The last name is spelled ShainIdze. Beautifully done. This was taken with a Canon 5D Mark III with a 24-105 lens at f9, right? Because they want a lot of depth of field.
So
it was shot at 24 millimeter.
Let's talk about the composition on this because
wow.
When you do something like this, what you'll find is that your lines, getting lines that straight is actually hard to do.
This is just killer. You know what else? Look at the sky. This is a long exposure. So this is one where they actually did invest in it, and it is they used an ND filter. So, because you're not going to get that long exposure and especially this is just f9. So they used a ND filter and some absolutely beautiful post processing. So, hey, Patrick Wormsley just said, thank you for sharing your architectural Nick recipes. You're very welcome. I made a bunch of those available. We created this toolkit for Kelby One members, and all for 12 days of Christmas, we put a new thing there. One of mine was I did a bunch of recipes using the Nick collection for architectural because I like architectural photography. I've never taken an architectural photo that compares with Roland's photo. This is just absolutely gorgeous. But Larry's right. Look at those lines. They are just sharp as a tack.
And straight horizontal, straight
beautiful
vertical.
Black and white processing. It's just so. This is nothing.
That's blue.
It's not. It's just shoot this. Don't shoot that. Beautifully done. Roland, that's Toronto City Hall, which will now become the most popular place to shoot in all of Toronto. And Toronto's a beautiful city, by the way.
It is. I like when I get to visit there. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I think that's just amazing. All right, let's take a look at this shot. So this is a food shot. You've got bread, and you've got grapes. You got bread, fruit, cheese, and wine. Now this is actually fairly nicely done. This is a shot sold online. This is, I think it's pretty well done. When I look at it, the things that I see that are not awesome about it is it's very cluttered.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of stuff packed into a very small place. The bread on the left and the right, they just look, I mean, that's probably exactly how you would tear the bread.
Yeah.
But a real food stylist would go, you can't tear the bread like you did it like Gronk. Like, Gronk want bread, tear, eat. It's like none of there. So, and let's say the grapes could use a little retouching. I mean, there's some, it's not bad, but you can see someone tried to style this. They took the time and they shot it in reasonable light. It's not awesome light. It's okay. You know what awesome light looks like? Like this.
Oh, that's great.
This is art. All right. This is, it's bread, it's fruit, it's raisins, it's wine. They shot it in absolutely beautiful light. Look at the window right there. They shot it on wood too, like the other one did. But this is art. This is just beautiful.
It's got balance and composition.
Yeah, I mean the light and look at the color of it. Okay, let's just look at the color here.
I think you have a thing for warm lit pictures.
I think most people have a thing for more. I think about this, Larry. So if you're an actor and you want to make someone look dead,
you put them in blue light.
You put them in blue. So it is. You know, we like people warm. Like, you know, that's why you have a gray card, and then they make what's called a warm card.
Sure.
Right, to make people look, you know, because we know that people look better warmer. We generally do like, as people, warmer scenes than colder scenes. Colder scenes make us feel cold. Warmer scenes make us feel warm. So anyway, take a look. Look at just the overall tone, and look at that's just beautiful. This is shot at f10, and the photographer, and hats off to this photographer, Luiz Lercio. Luiz Laercio. Lercio? Probably Lercio. Yeah, right. Luiz Lercio. Follow him on 500px because he is a beautiful photographer. And there's a lot here, but it doesn't look all crunched together. The bread looks beautiful. Even the bread is nicely cut instead of torn like Gronk like bread. It's just beautifully done. This is shot at f10. Everything's in focus all the way through.
Only thing I would add to this is cheese.
I tell you, Larry, cheese is there's not many things you can add cheese to. It doesn't make it better. Especially grated Parmesan Romano. Like get a nice Pecorino Romano. Get a nice Pecorino. Oh, you could pour it on cereal, it'd be good. Here we go. I think this is the last one. So this is portrait on location of a man who is not really giving you very much. He's just giving you a little smirk. He's a handsome guy, obviously. Not as handsome as me, but close. Well, he needs to work out at the same gym that I work at. That would help. And I'm younger, obviously. Taller, more bold, more beautiful. You can stop me anytime, Larry.
No, I think it's all very accurate so far.
Thank you.
Please continue.
Thank you for saying. Hey, look, it's Rob Baynard. Hey, Rob. Rob Baynard says, hi, Scott and Larry. Good to see you guys pop on my feed. Always love the grid. Thanks, Rob. We miss you.
Great guy. I've seen some of his street shots he's been doing lately.
He's very
show
talented
up in my Facebook feed, and he's doing this awesome black and white street photography.
Well, yeah, he lives in New York, right?
I know. But he does it right. It's like all this stuff down low, and he's catching people walking by, and it's like just beautiful
He's an
work.
after picture.
Yes.
He's an after picture guy. All right, so this is not a bad picture we're looking at on screen. It's really not bad. I was making some jokes, but he's not giving you anything. Now, I'm not going to show you an amazing shot, but I think I saw this one and I'm like, you know what? This is just interesting. This is really interesting. So this is Alex Pedan, P-E-D-A-N. This is taken on the High Line, which is, it was a, what do you call it? Overhead railroad? What do you call it? It was basically a subway line in New York City, above line. And, he took a shot there. But this is, it's a simple shot, and I just think it's just so well done. There is a great tint over the photo. There's this greenish kind of tint that is very popular.
Welcome to the Matrix.
Welcome to the Matrix. This is a shot of your cousin, and this is a portrait. I think that's really, really nice. Taken right there in New York. Alex Pedan, P-E-D-A-N. Follow him on 500px. All right, we only have a couple minutes left, so I want to tell you first how to get into the contest to win one of 2 Lens Pro To Go gift cards. We have, two of them, $50 each. We have a Platypod Pro Max, which is, this is what you use when you can't use a tripod. You use a Platypod. It gets you really, really down low, but there's so much more you can do with these things. If you watch the video, was it Rob? Did Rob Baynard?
No. Okay. That was David Day.
Yes, David Day. I was going to say, did Rob make their video? No. So we know the guy that made their video, and it's an awesome video. But you can strap this to. I want to strap it to a goalpost.
Yeah.
So you have to. There's rules about where you can put it. But the other way we've done goalposts, I needed 5 people to help me. This one I could just put it right on there. All right. So where do you go to win this? And also, whoa, stop. Did my new Elements 15 book just hit bookstores? Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, it did on Friday. Do we have a copy to give away today? Yeah, we do. If you use Elements, this is the absolute truth, the greatest book ever written in the history of Elements. And more people showed up to see the printing of this book than any time ever in history, period.
You know, that sounds very, never mind.
Anyway, go to kelby1.com/contest. Go to the grid. And you know what's important? Not your name, because we don't care. We don't really sell these prizes out. What's important is that you tell us which one you want to win. So if you want to win the Lens Pro to Go, put it in there and or write the book or write the Platypod Pro Max. So the Max is for big cameras, big ones. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Thanks to everybody that sent in. Larry, thank you very much for being here and bringing,
it's been a blast.
And bringing your red.
Stop with that.
Phallic.
It keeps my Coke cold. That's all it does. It is nothing else. Please pay attention to other things. Stop.
I hope you guys found this episode useful. Larry, where can they learn more about you? We talked about your blog post, but where can they go learn more about Larry?
LarryBecker.tv.
LarryBecker.tv. Guys, Larry has got a very, very, very slick, clever thing. If you're a photographer and you want to make money, how much money do you want to make? Enough to pay for your gear? Great. Start with Larry's thing. It will happen very, very quickly. So go check his thing out. He's on to something. Thank you to our crew here. Jen, Juan. I think Meredith is there, but Layden was switching the show today, I believe.
Oh, is that right?
All right, Layden switching the show. Good job today, Layden, switching the show. And he's under the tutelage of Meredith, who literally sits by him with a small stun gun. And if he makes a switch at the wrong time, you can hear a little yell every once in a while that happens in the back of the room. That's what it is. Thanks to all of our friends all around the world who tuned in with us today. Thanks to all of our regulars. And next week on the grid, is it next week? Rick Salmon is on the grid next week? Ooh, next week? February 1st. Yeah. Okay, next week, Calibra's on the show. She's an iPhoneographer. She's got some really, really good stuff. I know what she's doing. It's gonna be great. Next week, Calibra's on the show. We have 1 minute left, Larry. Can we show your cozy again?
I think we're done with that.
We named it. Now what do we do?
Let's talk to other people. Yeah.
All right. We'll see you guys. See you next week. Take care, everybody. Thanks again.